Hello students, today we will be starting with the second chapter, materials of daily use clothes, that is referred as fiber and fabric in your NCERT books. So in this chapter we will be learning about fiber, how fiber is obtained, from where fiber is obtained, and fabric which we use for clothing, where does it come from. Other than these we will be learning about the simpler terms which will be used in this chapter, in this standard, 6th standard, in 7th standard and in 8th standard. There are some basic terms. Actually this chapter is divided into 3 parts, or this topic is divided into 3 parts. Here in 6th standard you will be having learning about plant fibers basically, and in 7th standard you will be learning about animal fibers, and in 8th standard you will be learning about synthetic fibers. So here today we will be starting with the fiber and fabric, that is given in your syllabus as materials of daily use, that is clothes. So children, we all use clothes to cover our body, to protect our body from heat, cold, rain and so many other environmental effects and all, and to present ourselves also. But if we move back long years ago, so man was, when the life was, means the development of life was there, so जो evolution हुआ, और early man की अगर हम बात करें तो they do not used to wear clothes. Then primitive man, then early men used to wear or cover their body with leaves of the trees and animal skin. So by the time evolution and development, the fiber were of plant and animal, and nowadays synthetic also are there, means variety of fabric is there to cover our body. So we will be learning about fiber, where does it come from. First of all, what is fiber? If we talk about fiber, then fiber is a small, or you can say not small, a thin strand or filament of a substance, a thin strand or a filament of a substance, रेशा. आपने देखा होगा कि कभी कभी आप अभी nowadays there are many oranges, है ना, अभी seasonal fruit है ये orange, तो orange जब आप खाते हो तो when you peel the orange, when you take the slice of an orange out of it, तो जब आप इसमें से स्लाइस निकालते हो तो आपको छोटे छोटे एक थ्रेड लाइक स्ट्रक्चर उसमें बहुत सारे दिखते हैं. ऑल दीज आर व्हाट? दे आर फाइबर्स, एंड दीज टाइप ऑफ फाइबर्स आर प्रेजेंट इन ऑल लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म, बट ऑल फाइबर्स आर नॉट देयर टू सिंथेसाइज क्लोथ. कपड़ा बनाने के लिए नहीं है सब फाइबर. सम आर डाइटरी फाइबर, सम आर नॉन डाइटरी फाइबर, some fibers are used to make clothes, to make fabric. So that is what we will be learning about in this chapter. So this fiber, the source of fiber are basically 3. Either we can obtain plant fiber from plants or from animals, and we nowadays synthesize fibers in the laboratories. So they are synthetic in nature. They are also termed as artificial fibers as they are not obtained from any of the natural resource. ठीक है. So यहाँ पर अगर आप इसको करना चाहो कि fiber is divided in this, these two are natural source and this is the synthetic one, and from plant basically the fiber are cotton and jute, and these are the major one. It's not कि only these are the 2 fibers from which fabric is obtained. There are many other fiber, but they are not cultivated in that much large scale as these are there, and secondly the qualities present in these fibers are more beneficial than these. Silk and wool. And if we talk about, there are many synthetic fiber, nylon, you can say polyester, एक्सेट्रा, देयर आर मेनी, है ना, बहुत सारे हैं, इनके बारे में आप 8th स्टैंडर्ड में पढ़ोगे. सो बेसिकली इन 6th स्टैंडर्ड वी विल बी लर्निंग अबाउट दिस. A small idea of these will also be given to you about silk fiber, wool fiber, nylon, or you can say synthetic fiber. Now all these fibers which we will be learning, जो हम पढ़ने वाले हैं, इनसे रिलेटेड कुछ टर्म्स हैं. There are some basic terms which will be coming throughout the learning process of fiber to fabric, or fiber and fabric, or synthetic fibers and plastics. Wherever you will be reading, there are some common terms which will be used throughout the chapter. So you should know about those common terms. First of all, we have read about fiber. अभी हमने देखा कि fiber क्या है. Fiber is a thin strand or filament of a substance. Now this fiber is obtained either from plant or animal. And synthetic fiber, one more thing you can add over here by yourself if you want, that these fibers which are obtained from plant or animals, some there in these fiber there are some dietary fibers also, like the roughage, the component of food, roughage or fiber which you say, like cabbage, beetroot, radish, carrot, onion, all these are what? They are, you eat them as a salad. So what is the work of salad? It is fibrous in nature. And what is the work of fiber? It helps in digestion. So those they are dietary fibers, but these cotton, jute, silk, wool, all these are non-dietary fibers. All right. So first I will be telling about you the common terms which we will be reading on, throughout the chapter, especially in 6th and 7th standard, and then we will be starting with the type of fibers again, and then the main fiber, cotton and jute. Now fiber we have done. See, this fiber to fabric journey is a 3-step process, but in this process there will be many terms which this we have to pass through. So fiber is first converted into yarn, and this yarn undergoes weaving or knitting to get fabric. So these are the steps of obtaining fabric from fiber, how fiber is obtained. And this thread is obtained from fiber by spinning. The process of spinning is done in order to get yarn, in order to get thread. Now we will be learning about all these terms, and we will be learning about the definition of each and everything. See children, you must have seen, आपने देखा होगा अपने घर पे लूज कॉटन, आपने सबने देखा होगा. नाउ दैट लूज कॉटन विच यू यूज, इफ यू पुल इट very gently, then easily you can tear it into pieces, and you can easily see those small strands and fiber. And if you want to stick it, or if you want to use it as a fabric or as to cover your body, you cannot do that because it is very loose, it doesn't have any strength. So in order to make the proper use of that cotton or that fiber, what we need is, we need to spin that cotton, we need to spin that fiber. So what is the process of spinning? Spinning is actually twisting of fiber in order to make it strong. ठीक है. स्पिनिंग क्या है? ट्विस्ट करेंगे. कैसे करते हैं देखिए. आप लोगों के घर पे जब भी, मतलब मोस्टली आपने देखा होगा कि दिया जब जलाते हो या कहीं पर भी जब दिया होता है, या आपने कैंडल में भी विक देखी है, तो दैट इज ट्विस्टेड. उसमें आपको ट्विस्ट बल दिखाई देंगे, ऐसे टर्न्स दिखाई देंगे. इट इज ट्विस्टेड इन दिस मैनर. नाउ व्हाई दीज टर्न्स आर देयर? और यू कैन टेक अ थ्रेड एंड इफ यू विल ट्विस्ट इट, you will see that it turns around and coils around. So what we can do is, we can take loose cotton just for an experiment. You can try it by yourself also, and then hold one and by your thumb and all, and hold the other one and twist it gently, and twist it gently. When you will do so, you will see that loose fiber of cotton converts into a thread like structure. वो एक थ्रेड लाइक स्ट्रक्चर में कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा। अभी आप उसको जब पुल करोगे तो यू विल नीड मोर एनर्जी कंपेयर टू दी लूज कॉटन। सो व्हाट हैपेंस आफ्टर स्पिनिंग और व्हाट हैपेंस आफ्टर ट्विस्टिंग? व्हेन वी ट्विस्ट द फाइबर, then the fiber gets strength and it is converted into yarn or thread. So this is how by spinning we obtain yarn or thread, and this process of spinning can be done by, see earlier it was done by using spinning wheel, that is charkha, जो गांधी जी यूज़ किया करते थे, एंड हैंड स्पिंडल, these are device. Nowadays it is done on machine which is also known as टकली, बट अभी के ज़माने में मशीन से भी स्पिनिंग होती है और मशीन से ही होती है, ठीक है। बट हाँ, आप रूरल एरियाज़ में चले जाओगे तो यू कैन सी इजीली चरखा ओवर देयर, जो वो सूत काटना जिसको बोलते थे। सूत काटना मतलब वो कॉटन को लेकर के और उससे थ्रेड बनाते हैं, एंड टकली is again a needle like device which is curved from the one end, and the loose cotton is fit in that, and then it is moved. When it is moved, the cotton which is fixed in the hole get turned around and twisted to convert it into the thread or yarn. So this is how we obtain yarn or thread from fiber. One step we have done, ठीक है। तो स्पिनिंग का क्या मीनिंग है? स्पिनिंग से हमें क्या मिलता है? स्पिनिंग से थ्रेड मिलता है। थ्रेड की इंपॉर्टेंस क्या है? थ्रेड इज स्ट्रॉन्गर देन फाइबर। नो, देयर आर मेनी थ्रेड्स, है ना। एंड इफ यू विल सी योर हैंकरचीफ, आप अभी अपने कभी हैंकरचीफ को ध्यान से देखोगे, एक हैंकी को, तो आपको ऐसे उसमें रेक्टेंगुलर, सॉरी वर्टिकल और हॉरिजॉन्टल बार्स ऑफ थ्रेड्स मतलब वो दिखेंगे, जो धागे होते हैं, थ्रेड्स होते हैं, इस तरीके से आपको उनका अरेंजमेंट दिखाई देगा। They are not overlapped but they are interlocked, that we will see in these steps, है ना। So these threads are interlocked to get a piece of fabric that is known as piece of cloth. So yarn is spun fiber. Fiber which is spun is known as yarn or thread. So first step we have done. From fiber we can obtain yarn by spinning, which was done earlier. Nowadays also it is done by using spinning wheel and takali. Nowadays it is done by machines, and yarn is known as spun fiber. The fiber which is spun, which is twisted, is known as yarn. Now it has got strength. Now it is ready to get to obtain the fabric. But it doesn't means कि भाई आपने थ्रेड लिया और बन गया फैब्रिक ना, उसका भी एक प्रोसेस होता है। Now how it is done? See, there are two processes I wrote here: weaving and knitting. ये आप पहले ही लर्न कर लोगे ना, तो आपको बाद में ये टर्म्स जब भी यूज होंगी तो यू वोंट गेट कंफ्यूज, बिकॉज दीज टर्म्स आर रिलेटेड टू ईच एंड एवरी फैब्रिक. सो वी नीड नॉट डिस्कस देम अगेन एंड अगेन. वी कैन रिवाइज, बट यू कैन गेट इट अंडरस्टूड ओवर हियर ओनली. So till yarn we have done. Now this yarn is used to obtain fabric either by the process of weaving or by the process of knitting. Now these are two different processes. Weaving is process of making fabric by using single thread, by using two sets of threads. Two sets of threads. दो सेट हम यूज करेंगे. वन इज वर्टिकल, द अदर इज हॉरिजॉन्टल. Now how they are used? Actually you must have seen the advertisement of Surf Excel and all these दाग अच्छे हैं एंड ऑल। तो वहाँ पर जब कपड़े के अंदर तक जाके ये डर्ट निकालता है, ऐसा आपने सुना होगा, बट सुना होगा तो ऑब्जर्व भी किया करो। और व्हेन यू ऑब्जर्व यू कैन ईजिली सी दैट क्रिस क्रॉस पैटर्न ऑफ द क्लॉथ। तो जो आपको क्रिस क्रॉस पैटर्न दिखता है वही एक्चुअली बेसिकली वीविंग पैटर्न है। तो वहाँ पे आपको वर्टिकल थ्रेड्स भी दिखेंगे, आपको हॉरिजॉन्टल थ्रेड्स भी दिखेंगे, एंड दीज वर्टिकल एंड हॉरिजॉन्टल थ्रेड्स they are interlocked. How they are interlocked? See, if these are vertical, so one over the other they are crisscross. जो आपकी मैट होती है, चटाई जो होती है ना, वो जिस तरीके से बनती है, वन सिंगल मीन्स आप पहले तो वर्टिकल लगा देते हो, फिर हॉरिजॉन्टल को एक छोड़ के एक ओवरलैप करते हो, तो that is known as weaving. So here two sets of threads are used. One is vertical, the other is horizontal, and they are interlocked one over the other, and this is how a piece of fabric is obtained. Now earlier and nowadays again I am telling you, handloom is done. आपको बताते हैं ना, हाथ से बनी हुई, हाथ की काम है, हाथ से बना हुआ है, महंगा है, मेहनत लगती है. What is that? Actually that thread is made by hand, है ना, by workers, by the use of either charkha or the takali and all, and then that thread is used over there, that wooden bar is there. You must have seen in there are some channels which actually shows these type of documentary films and all. तो वहाँ पे आपने अगर देखा हो ना, तो उसमें बताते हैं कि हाथ से काम किया हुआ, हाथ से कपड़ा कैसे बनाया जाता है। डॉक्यूमेंट्री में देखना कभी आप डाल के, तो वो एक वुडन फ्रेम होता है जिसके ऊपर ऐसे वर्टिकल थ्रेड्स रोल होके नीचे हैंग होते हैं, एंड देन देयर इज शटल विच इज डन मीन्स ऑन एंड ऑफ, एक बार आगे आती है, एक बार पीछे जाती है। तो आगे आती है तो एक तरीके के थ्रेड्स के ऊपर चढ़ती है, दोबारा जाती है तो दूसरे, तो इस तरह से इंटरलॉक वो हो जाता है, एंड दैट इज नोन एज वीविंग. सो दिस वीविंग इज डन बाय मशीन, इट इज डन बाय हैंड ऑल्सो, एंड द वीविंग दिस प्रोसेस is done on looms, that is known as looms, or either by hand loom, that is हाथ से अगर कर रहे हैं कारीगर काम तो वो, और power looms, that is machines. Machines are also used to do this weaving process. So this is the another step of yarn to convert into fiber. Now fabric, sorry, and अभी हमारे पास जब हम वीविंग कर लेते हैं तो वी गेट अ पीस ऑफ क्लॉथ विच इज रेडी टू कट एंड स्टिच एंड टू वेयर, विच कुड बी कट इन एनी शेप and size, and accordingly it could be worn by anyone. So this is how fabric is obtained from fiber. These are the steps actually. Now we'll be learning about knitting. What is knitting? See, winters had just passed by, and you must have seen in your in the shops and in your streets and in your area there are vendors who sell wool. आते हैं ऊन वाला करके ऊन बेचने, एंड आपने देखा होगा कि किसी की elderly people nowadays, I haven't seen many younger people doing all these things. Earlier people used to do in winter, when they cook the food, when they do every household work, they sit outside in the sunshine, they take that woolen thread, and what they do is they take two needles and then they crisscross them and they make a fabric out of it, है ना, उससे कपड़ा बनाते थे. स्वेटर्स हैं, पुलोवर्स हैं, कार्डिगन्स हैं, हाफ स्वेटर्स, एंड देयर आर मेनी अदर थिंग्स विच कुड बी वोवन बाय दैट. So what actually is difference between this and this knitting? Knitting is बुनाई, और बुनाई कैसे की जाती है? This knitting process is done by using single thread. एक ही थ्रेड हम यूज करेंगे और निटिंग से हम कपड़ा बना लेंगे, ठीक है. सो दीज अंडरगारमेंट्स इन द मशीन, दीज इंडस्ट्रीज एंड ऑल, टेक्सटाइल इंडस्ट्रीज में जब यह बनते हैं तो ये सब सिंगल थ्रेड से, इनका निटिंग प्रोसेस से होता है, ठीक है. स्वेटर्स का बनना निटिंग प्रोसेस से होता है. इफ़ यू अनवील, एक भी थ्रेड आपने उसमें से निकाल लिया तो यू विल फाइंड द फैब्रिक विल अनफोल्ड. वो अनवाइंड होता चला जाएगा, निकलता चला जाएगा, आपको जब तक आप उसको रोकोगे नहीं. इधर यू हैव टू फिक्स इट बाय सम ट्रिक और दैट समथिंग लाइक दैट, और यू हैव टू अनवाइंड इट अगेन एंड रीमेक इट, दोबारा बनाना पड़ेगा. तो knitting is done by using single thread, weaving is done by two sets of threads, vertical and the horizontal, and this is how you obtain the fabric. And what is fabric? Fabric is piece of cloth which is obtained by weaving or knitting of yarn. So what is fabric? Fabric is a piece of cloth which is obtained by weaving or knitting of yarn. So these were the basic terms which you will be using throughout the chapter in 6th standard, in 7th standard, and these are the basic terms which one should know before starting this topic. Now these fibers are again, because we will be starting with the plant fibers basically in this as per your syllabus we have to start with the plant fiber, है ना. तो plant fiber को अभी जब हम start करेंगे तो plant fiber are again divided, they are also categorized. See, from where, from which part of the plant the fiber is obtained, accordingly they are classified into three. First is bast fibers, fruit fibers and leaf fibers. Bast fibers are obtained from the stem. Bast fibers obtained from the stem of the plant. अगर प्लांट की से ले रहे हैं हम स्टेम से तो बास्ट फाइबर है, और इसके एग्जाम्पल है जूट, हेम्प. फ्रूट फाइबर which are obtained from fibers obtained from the fruit of the plant. एंड एग्जाम्पल अगर आप देखेंगे कॉटन इज द मोस्ट कॉमन वन एंड विल बी कॉटन है, कोकोनट है, ठीक है. लीफ फाइबर अगेन फाइबर्स ऑब्टेन फ्रॉम द लीफ ऑफ द प्लांट. अब ज़रूरी नहीं है कि सारे ही फाइबर से आप फैब्रिक बनाओगे, एंड इसका बहुत कॉमन से एग्जाम्पल है बनाना, एंड देर आर मैनी अदर. सो बास्ट फाइबर्स, फ्रूट फाइबर, लीफ फाइबर, this is how these plant fiber are further classified on the basis of the part of the plant, from which it is obtained. ठीक है, उसके बेसिस पे these are categorized into three: bast fibers, fruit fiber, leaf fibers. बास्ट फाइबर्स obtained from the stem of the plant. अगर stem से आ रहा है, कई बार क्वेश्चन पूछा जाता है which among the following is the bast fiber. So don't get confused, which among the following is the or which of the following fiber is obtained from the stem of the plant. So directly पूछ लिया तो बहुत easy हो जाएगा. बास्ट फाइबर पूछते तो confuse मत होना, again that is stem fiber. तो jute, hemp, and when we'll be reading further about each type of fiber, you will be easily classifying these types of fiber. Then come the fruit fiber which is obtained from the fruit of the plant. अगर fruit of the plant से मिल रहा है तो वो fruit fiber हुआ, और leaf fiber की बात करेंगे तो it is obtained from the leaf of the plant. So this was basic which we have learned, and in the next class we will be learning about the fibers, that is cotton and jute. So we will be continuing from cotton in the next class, and when we will be meeting in the next class I want all of you to revise all these terms once, because we won't be recalling again and again. So these terms should be there in your mind. Okay, thank you.